Hi there, everyone. This is Miss Maddie with our Lentil Harvest of the Month cooking show. So we are in December, and that means it is lentil month. So for our recipe today, I'm going to be demonstrating how to make a yummy butternut squash and lentil hummus. Now, you may have heard of hummus before, and hummus is a dip that's traditionally made with chickpeas, but you can use all sorts of different kinds of beans or peas to make hummus. And that's why today we are going to be using lentils. For our recipe today, we are going to be using some really yummy local ingredients. Some of those local ingredients are local honey and a local butternut squash. Now this was grown at Towns Harvest Garden right here on Montana State University's campus. We also have some local garlic. This is also from Towns Harvest. And we've got some delicious lentils. These are lentils from Timeless Foods right here in Montana. Let's get started. Now, my friends, I recommend as you follow along with this lentil butternut squash hummus recipe that you take notes in your science journal or on a piece of paper, and that way you can remember the recipe and try to make it at home with your adults. Now, you also have the option of clicking the PDF link in our YouTube channel description, and there you'll see an awesome worksheet that allows you to cut out the ingredients and glue them onto a recipe page. So, whatever you decide to do while you watch this video, I'm sure you're going to love this lentil hummus. Okay, friends, I decided to point the camera down here so you can see what I'm doing with all of these ingredients. Now, the first thing we are going to add to our blender, which will blend up all of the ingredients to make a yummy, delicious hummus, is 2 cups of butternut squash. Now, I already roasted this butternut squash in the oven, so the only thing that I have to do now is scoop out all of those yummy insides into my measuring cup to get 2 cups. Here we go. One thing I love about butternut squash is that it is a storage crop, which means it can be stored for a really long time without refrigeration in a cool, dry place. So I bought this squash actually about 2 months ago now, and it's been in a cool, dry spot in one of my closets, and it's still totally fresh. Another awesome thing about butternut squash and all winter squash is that it has tons of vitamin A and vitamin C. So it's really good for our eyes and our skin, and it's great for blocking germs. So we've got 1 cup in the blender. I'm just gonna scoop out the rest for our second cup. Something I also try to remember when I roast butternut squash for this recipe is not to use any oil in the roasting process. And I don't use any oil because I have a dog, and winter squash is actually good for your dogs to eat in small amounts. So you'd want to check with your vet first, but I always make sure I have a little bit of extra winter squash for my puppy after I make these recipes. Go. 2 cups of butternut squash into the blender. Awesome. Something I like to recommend is that you always have a compost bowl handy, so you can put your food scraps into the compost bowl as you cook, and then it's an easy cleanup when you drop that into your compost bin. All right, our next ingredient is 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Pour that right in there. Followed by 1 teaspoon of paprika and 1/4 teaspoon of oregano. Shake that in there. And friends, here's a pro tip. If you have dry ingredients like spices, you'll want to put those in about in the middle or even in the beginning when you're first filling up your blender. That way the heavier and wetter ingredients will help blend those dry ingredients in and they won't just get stuck to the side and not make it into the recipe. All right, our next ingredient is 1 tablespoon of Montana honey. Yummy. Make sure we get all that good sweetness in there. Awesome. And then the star of the entire recipe, we need 1.5 cups of cooked lentils. Now, did you know that Montana is a top producer of lentils? We produce in Montana a ton of lentils, but lentils are grown and eaten all over the world. One really cool thing about lentils is that they have a symbiotic relationship with the soil and soil bacteria. That means that lentils are able to convert nitrogen in the air into nitrogen in the soil with the help of soil bacteria, which leaves more nitrogen in the soil for other plants to grow. So it builds soil health. All right, there's 1 cup and we need another 1/2 cup. Another really awesome thing about lentils is that they are loaded with fiber and protein. Now, fiber is very good for our digestive system. It helps keep our digestive system clean and healthy. And protein helps us grow strong muscles. So lentils are really good for growing strong muscles and for keeping our digestive system healthy. All right, our other 1/2 cup of lentils going in. Yum, it smells so good already. Okay, after the lentils, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of tahini. And tahini is just sesame paste. You can find it at your grocery store near the peanut butter. Here we go. All right, we have 3 ingredients left to add: salt, lemon juice, and garlic. So we need 2 cloves of garlic. And if you don't have cloves of garlic, you can use garlic powder. And you would use 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. But I'm gonna use fresh garlic because I love fresh garlic. So I just squished it with my knife to get all of the skin off, and we can just drop it in our blender. Boop. Awesome. And then with all of this skin, I'll just put it right in my compost bowl. Okay. And last 2 ingredients. We've got 2 tablespoons of lemon juice right in there. And we're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna do a pinch of salt. And after you blend it and taste it, you might wanna add more salt, you might wanna add other spices. It's really up to you. Okay, time to blend. Prepare to be blendified. Let's do this. Smells so good. It's up to you to decide what consistency you want, but this looks like it'll be just fine for me. And now for the best part, the taste test. So when I taste something new, I like to taste it with all 5 of my senses. I like to think about, what does it smell like before I eat it? And can I hear it either before, like with popcorn when you hear the kernels popping, or while I'm eating it, while it's in my mouth, what does it sound like? And how does it feel in my hands? I have a feeling the hummus would be a little bit mushy to touch. And what does it look like? Kind of 2 different shades of orange for this. And finally, how does it taste? What flavors stand out the most to me from this hummus? Can I taste the lemon juice or the olive oil or even the lentils and the butternut squash? I like to eat my hummus with some carrot sticks, but you can also put it on a wrap with, let's say, chicken and lettuce and cheese, or you could put it on a salad. It also goes really well with crackers and chips. So, here we go. Wow, I'm tasting the garlic and definitely tasting that squash. And I think I'm even getting a little bit of the lentils. That is delicious. On a scale of tried it, liked it, loved it, I loved it. Thanks for watching the lentil cooking video today, and we'll see you next time.